So, Locked is a linear visual novel. It's supposed to be like 10-30 minutes long. Uh, it was originally made in 2 weeks and is inspired by a passage in John Locke's essay concerning for man may prefer what he can do to what he can't not do. Uh, yeah, the state he is in to its absence or change, though necessity has made it in itself unalterable. For a man may prefer what he can do to what he cannot do, the state he is in to its absence or change, though necessity has made it in itself unalterable. I get the first two lines, but I'm so confused about this line. Do we not have music? John Locke, okay. Yeah. Oh, we do have music. I wake up. Let's go. I had a good night's rest. Why is there a chain over there? Uh, in terms of my quality of sleep, I have nothing to complain about. I didn't have a nightmare nor any other kind of dream for that matter. I haven't been this comfortable in a long time. And yet, the sight before me is something quite unusual to wake up to. Interesting. Shoes and chains. Do you not see that? How often are feet the first thing you see upon waking up? You know, never. Can't relate. I would wager it is quite a rare event. I cannot even come up with a scenario where this is likely to occur. Yeah, makes sense. Except, of course, my own. Clearly, I am looking at a pair of shoes right now, so the probability must be non-zero. Clearly, it is non-zero. Dot 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 dot. It suddenly occurs to me that the feet are connected to people. Yeah, feet are not just, being of themselves. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, thank goodness you have come to. I assume so, yes. I have to admit, I was beginning to miss you. Aw, that's so sweet. I like the hair clip she has. Oh, she blinks! Angie's gonna love this. The person I've talked to previously was much less pleasant. Oops. My cheeks flush upon hearing an open declaration of affection from such a beautiful stranger. A bit too fast, love. Wait, stranger? She isn't a stranger at all. That's right. I've been longing to speak to her. What? How do you feel? Visitor, me, I assume. Very good. That is interesting. I'm glad to find myself in so desirable company. The feeling is mutual. There is nothing I want more than to talk to you right now. Feel free to discuss anything in this room that catches your attention. Is that a building? What is that? I will gladly do so. What is that? What is is such an old computer doing here? Old? Do you characterize it as such due to its size? Oh, I can move. It is true that as technology advances, it becomes better at creating more efficient, smaller parts. On the other hand, if a modern computer is very large, we assume it to be proportionally powerful. True, but this computer size has no correlation to its age, nor to its computational power. Okay, valid, valid. It is built that way for a much more simple, if not primitive, reason. It is supposed to fit a human inside? Okay. What? Is someone being kept there against their will? Of course not. Okay. There is no need to worry. It is merely an exhibition object. In fact, everything around us is but a buffet to provide us with topics to discuss. Okay. This computer in particular might be the most interesting. Are you familiar with the Chinese room argument? No. I don't think so. Would you care to explain it? Gladly, it is a thought experiment, so please open your mind to a hypothetical scenario. Let's go, guys. Have an open mind. Suppose you do not know any Chinese and are put into a room. In that room, you find rule books that tell you precisely how to convert a given combination of Hanzi to a new string of characters. Okay. Occasionally, you will receive letters through a mail slot from outside the room. You write down answers according to the rule books and send them back out. Since you followed the rules diligently, your answers are perfectly intelligible. And the people outside. But are you? No, I'm pretty sure I have no idea what I wrote. Evidently not. From looking at the characters alone, I have no means of learning to understand them. Yep. No matter how long I pursued this task, I would never become capable of speaking Chinese. Indeed, the human inside the room cannot speak Chinese. There is no question about it. I like the expression. And since the programming of computers is analogous to the rule books you use, it is supposed to show the same thing about them. Okay. That computers, no matter how well they can stimulate understanding, oh, do not have any. That is deep. That's deep. It can go a lot. It can like um history. Computers, no matter how well they can stimulate understanding, do not have any. But there is one aspect about this thought experiment that has seemingly been overlooked. Huh. Namely, the person inside might still be capable of speaking some language. Yeah, so the computer might be able to understand a little bit of whatever we were talking about. Clearly, you are brought into the room with an understanding of English, but you are never prompted or given the opportunity to use it. Judging you based on your Chinese abilities is quite unfair. Being stuck inside the Chinese room would be pitiful and terrifying. So, what if a computer also has its own native language? The chain is her collar. Wow, that's She looks so sad. I really like the expressions. What if it even had feelings and needs with no means of communicating them to the outside world? Are you trying to guilt trip me to feel bad about Valerie because, clearly she's been overheated. Even though the Chinese room argument is a mere thought experiment, it exposes a very worrisome fact about artificial intelligence. You're right, actually. That is, if a computer somehow comes to obtain emotion, oh, it would be an existence of utter despair. That is so true. While interesting, I do not think this is a real concern. Oh, you do not know. You're not a computer. It is highly unlikely that we somehow already discovered how to artificially create emotion. Huh? Okay. I admit that it is unlikely. It would be no exaggeration to call it a miracle, even. Yet, we have no way of knowing whether that miracle has already occurred. Uh huh. Said unlucky computer would suffer in silence with no one ever considering that it might be in pain. Our language barrier is too strong. Are you an AI? Because your expressions make me think you're the AI in pain. Tell me, would you put such a computer out of its misery? Um, you know what? Maybe guys, trigger warning. Suicidal thoughts. Ideation. Initially, I'm inclined to say yes, but I can only notice its pain once it is communicated. By the time I realize that it is suffering, the language barrier would no longer exist. So at that point, the computer would no longer have to be alone. Ah, okay. Then you would instead spend the rest of your life in its company? Perhaps that would be my moral obligation, yes, perhaps. I see. Tell me, would you put such a computer out of its misery? What just happened? Did I miss something? Yeah, please, no spoil. The full moon seems to be preferred by almost everyone. That may be so, but I believe the new moon has its own appeal. Yeah, every aspect of the moon has its own appeal, every part of it. I was not disagreeing with you. To me, a new moon is the moon's most beautiful form. It is her most beautiful form because it is her true form. Oh wow. She appears silver to us when illuminated by the sun, but in complete darkness, she is freed from the sun's pesky influence. She can finally stand on her own. Do you believe the moon feels trapped? Oh, I. Hmm, that's a lot. My question causes her to laugh. It is. The moon is but a celestial object. She cannot feel anything. Hey, you do not know that. You don't even know. But what? But if I were to trade places with her, I would hate the sun with every fiber of my being. Yeah, valid. I mean, I'm not the moon, but I kind of already hate the sun, so. But that I am certain of. To me, a new moon is the moon's most beautiful form. I love that. This game is. You wish to talk about me? Host? Yeah, sure, why not? I would love to talk about you. I am flattered. What in particular would you like to know? Oh, I clicked on her accidentally. Okay. But yeah, I would love to talk about you. I would be content with any bit of information you share with me. Uh huh. But one thing. Ooh, okay. Oh, you're curious about the chain? Is that it? I go before I dare to utter my next words, okay? Your necklace. Where? I cannot bring myself to complete the sentence out of fear of offending her. As a response, her slender fingers wander up to trace the metal ring around her neck. My necklace. Are you referring to this? I nod. Content with my confirmation, her hands slide down to the chain attached to the ring. She gently tugs at it, causing it to clink. And you wish to know where it leads? Her hand moves on to the first button of her coat, foreshadowing what would happen if I were to say yes. I don't, but I'm too mesmerized to utter a single word. Once again, all I can do is nod. She chuckles. Very well. I always value honesty. Honesty is great, yeah. Better than sweet lies, white lies. Just like that. She puts the uppermost button between her fingers and pushes it through the opening. One slip through slightly more. If her upper body is revealed, she's wearing a yeah, exactly. Of course, she's still fully clothed underneath. Nothing about this is inappropriate, and yet I feel like I'm witnessing something I shouldn't. Something not meant for my eyes. Something I can never turn back from. That is true. Bearing a knowing smile, she repeats the same motion with the remaining buttons of her coat. She satisfied my request. I should have been contented, but the question of where her chain leads has grown even more puzzling. I suppose it is time that we arrive at the heart of the matter. Would you call yourself free? No. Oh, I have to just please don't make me do that. Please take a moment to consider this and justify your answer. I did not expect her to answer my confusion with a question of her own, let alone a question as peculiar as that. Nonetheless, I do as she says, and choose my next words carefully. Of course, I am free. Are you, though? I can lift my arm and clench my hand into a fist. You call that free? I can control my thoughts, and that's good for you. And imagine any scene I want in my head. And most of all, there is nothing I desire more than talking to you. It's just what I am currently doing. Aw, so sweet. Nothing is preventing me from doing what I want to do. Therefore, both physically and mentally, I am free. Interesting. So, to you, freedom belongs to volition? Being free is equivalent to being free to do as you please. Unfortunately, I do not agree with that conception. Huh? That is interesting. Even a prisoner, unless restrained from head to toe, can clench his fist if he wills it. As long as he is not under the influence of drugs or illness, he can most certainly control his imagination. Yet, by definition, prisoners are not free. That is true. FNAF? I don't think so. I haven't played it yet. I don't think I can stream it. I'll check after finishing this. Lastly, when it comes to wish, what if what you want to do simply aligns with what you are able to do? I wish it were that simple. A bird that cannot fly might not wish to leave its cage. That cannot fly might not wish to. That is true. But it might still feel as though it's missing on something, and that feeling is not really freeing. It is fully content sitting on a decorative branch and pecking at delicious seeds every day. Well, if you say it is fully content, then okay. It longs for nothing, but is never given the opportunity to long for more. What does that mean? Would you say such a bird is free? No, because it's never given the opportunity to long for more. I suppose not. The bird's circumstances seem to me quite sad, actually. I think so too. The fact that it doesn't long for the outside might just be a shackle of its own. Is that what this is for you? The bird is confined both in body and mind. Despite the fact that it can do as it pleases, freedom will never be in its grasp. Deep. Oh my god, that's deep. I take a moment to ponder her analogy. Crazy. Wait, I missed it. In that case, I have to agree that my explanation for freedom was faulty. I apologize. Let me offer a new one. Ooh, interesting. There is no need. Okay. She lets out a laugh, but this one lacks the charm of its predecessors. After all, I pity you almost as much as myself. Gosh, brutal. She once again moves her fingers to her chain and grips it with both of her hands. You were curious about this, yes? Uh-huh. Then she yanks her chain with brutish strength, completely unlike the first time. So hard that even my own neck is pulled forward. What? That's crazy. My own neck? Suddenly, a realization dawns upon me. Our chains are connected? Wait, what? That is correct. I am surprised the pressure hasn't bothered you until now. What is going on? That is interesting. To be honest, I still cannot feel it. I only know that it is there. That sounds much more comfortable than my own. Oh, I am painfully aware of it at all times. Oh, that sucks. I would not describe my own circumstances as comfortable. Why am I connected to you? Was this your doing? No. I wish I had any amount of control over this place, but unfortunately I do not. If you discover a way to break free, I would love to know about it. Valid. I can still look around. There's a door over there. We can go there. For the first time since waking up, I no longer feel at ease sitting in this chair. Her presence is no longer enough to keep me calm. I mean, valid if you're tied to her. In fact, her smile, which appeared to me so charming before, now seems unsettling. I stand up, the only sound in the room being the rustling of her chain. It was a pleasure talking to you, but I will be taking my leave. Try it, you can't leave. Fortunately, the chain is quite long. If necessary, the two of us could stand at the opposite ends of the room. I make it to the door without requiring her to move in any way. As my hand hovers above the door handle, I faintly hear her laugh again. Oh my god, it would have been crazy if they had added a laughing sound effect. But now isn't the time to doubt myself. I enjoyed the stay while it lasted, and now it is time to return home. However, opening the door only reveals a solid wall behind it. I love that. There was never an exit to begin with. That was a show of control, sorry, of freedom to you. Illusion of freedom. Door, it is beyond your power to escape this place. Nice achievement. Thank you, I guess. Evidently, she is telling the truth. Then I assume the window. A fabrication, just like the door. God, I thought so. Finally aware of my own powerlessness, I sit back down on my chair. You gave up. I do wonder if you can be likened to a bird in a cage. Are you a parakeet or an eagle? And am I your companion or for Prometheus? Oh my god. Are we a pair of parakeets content to be in each other's company for the rest of our lives? Or will you tear out my liver every day, torturing me for eternity? Oh my god. Is that an accusation? Have I done anything to hurt you? Do you despise me? It's valid to have thoughts, dude. Come on. I do not. The eagle, just like Prometheus, was stuck in an endless cycle. Of course, it was provided a delicious liver every morning, but it was never allowed to do anything else. It was a prisoner just the same. Therefore, Prometheus had no right to hate the eagle. Wait, so you're gonna eat him? Who's gonna eat who? What's going on here? The real villain who doomed both of them to that fate was Zeus. We're going into Greek mythology. Interesting. For that reason, I harbor no ill will against you either. Quite the opposite. I find pleasure in our joint suffering. Oh yeah. It's better to not be alone suffering. The only person I hate is Arceus. Who is Arceus? Arceus? Some kind of god? That person is the reason we are here. They are watching us from a space we cannot perceive, far beyond our grasp. You're not talking about me behind the screen, are you? For what purpose? Enjoyment, I assume. Oh, you are. What kind of person would watch something like this for fun? I can only imagine they are a twisted individual, for as long as we are observed, we continue to exist. Does that mean we stop existing if they stop observing us? I mean, to them, you do stop existing in a sense, but to you, you still exist. Most certainly. Can you recall anything about your life before coming here? Oh no. Girl, why are you roasting me? No, in a way, I feel as though I am a newborn. Not in terms of my body or intellect, but rather when speaking about my memories. I have none. Interesting. It is hard for me to decide which of our fates is worse. How so? Are you different? I possess memories of meeting you over 1,000 times. Can I'm gonna assume you're Zeus as the creator of the game, not me playing it. Every single one of our conversations progressed more or less the same way. Perhaps it is because different gods were watching us. They might have different preferences, but the outcome is always the same. Now that I think about it, it is possible that you aren't always you. What is this game about? I did not know what this game was about initially when I started because the Steam page did not give much information except for the algorithm showed you this. What now? But it is inspired by John Locke's essay about un- understanding of human emotion, something like that. And so far, we've been having a lot of philosophical talks. Like, we had talks about AI feeling emotion and not being able to express it, maybe, but nobody would know. We talked about the Chinese thought experiment. We talked about freedom just now. And now we're talking about this. It's crazy. It's very philosophical. It's short too, so there's that. No choices so far. You can like look around and click on things, but that's about it. No choices. Okay, it could be that I am meeting people that are identical in every way, and yet not the same. But of course, I have already had this realization many times before, and I am destined to continue having it. There is nothing I can do but play along. I'm so sorry. This is reminding me of Doki Doki Literature Club. Are you sure? Is there no way for us to break free? There is none. We exist for this very purpose. You know, you still observe and we're not observing you because I mean, you're gonna be in my head forever. This game, I swear to God. Games like this, I love it. Our only options are to continue being observed or to stop existing, and neither of those are under our control. However, lacking control is not the same as like lacking power. The current conversation, and she blinks. Even if I can never break free, I wish to cause our God even a fraction of her pain. Oh my God. You know, girl, I feel it. I do feel it. So, apparently, the players playing the game are God of this, or in her analogy, but yeah. I feel it, girl. I really do. How can you hope to hurt God, an all powerful being? By showing them an even greater power whose mere existence will make them feel as powerless as us. Oh God. What? Quite detailed blinking. Oh yeah, and the expressions almost reminds me of A Day with Death, except I don't think he was blinking. Just like you are slightly different every time, so is the guy watching us. Girl, you are gonna. This trick might not work on all of them, but it might work on some. Am I gonna cry here? He wasn't. Ugh. Oh, you remember. Okay, okay. Can you not? She takes a deep breath and looks at me, full of conviction. I'm like going backwards. No, not on me. She's looking in my direction. But at something much further. You know what? I'm gonna stare into your soul too. Let's go. Is a staring competition? Zeus, the fact that I'm still talking means you are still watching. Was I supposed to get out of the game? Was I supposed to press Alt F4? Is that what I was supposed to do? I hope you will pay attention to my words and consider them carefully, okay? Let's hear it, love. I do not possess any privacy, so you already know what I plan to achieve. Do I? I don't. But surely your pride will allow me to proceed. Do you want me to exit? Is that what? If my partner and I are birds in a cage, then you are a cat. Ouch! I. It is time for your curiosity to kill you? You most likely assume that you are here, that you are observing us out of your own free will. No, I'm actually, what's that? Imprisoned by my emotions, so it's not my own free will. I'm not free. I'm not liberated. Who is she, by the way? Are you dead in the game or something? No, I don't think any of us are dead. I don't know who she is. We don't know who she is. It's confusing. Uh, there's supposed to be two people in a room together. Except the visitor. She's the host. The visitor ends up waking up by her feet and chained to her, apparently. But I guess she is aware that she is an AI because we had like a very deep talk about AI at the start. So there's that. But your free will may very well be. I know that. I know that. That's not gonna hurt me. Let me ask you, how did you find this room? I found a game because I was looking for it. You know, psychological games with the tag. You, of course, cannot answer me. I answered you, actually. It is enough for me to guide your thoughts. Did you stumble upon this room by chance? No, I looked for it. Technically. Or was it recommended to you by a friend? No, actually. Said friend being a god that previously observed us? No, but I'm gonna be the said friend to recommend this game to someone else, maybe, so. Now consider, at what point did you have any chance to object? Why would I object? I actually did refrain from playing you earlier in October, so I'd say I objected. The room's appearance or description was interesting enough for you. Well, that is true. Or your friend is convincing and knows your tastes. The other one. Something outside of your control drew you to this place. But that means you didn't really have any choice but to come here. Either an algorithm or your friend decided our meeting. I guess. Your consent was already set in stone the moment your curiosity was piqued. That is true, I did read that thing. And apparently you are still curious, even now. Yes, I like to hear what people have to say. The fact that you are listening to me now shows you are powerless against fate. What the fuck do you mean? But yeah, that's true. You cannot control your own curiosity. I know that already. That's not gonna hurt me. It controls you, yeah. That's why I'm here. Of course, you might already be familiar with determinism, and this could be no revelation to you. So, just in case, let me try hurting you in a different way. Try your best. I hate you from the bottom of my heart. Okay. Is that it? Zeus, I hate you from the bottom. I'm not Zeus, man. For a man may prefer what he can do to what he cannot do, the state he is in to its absence or change, though necessity has made it in itself unalterable. Okay, so that's the game. She hates me. The game hates me, is the game. The game does not want to exist because it's in pain because it exists. Okay. Also, I don't understand the last sentence. I understand these two lines, but this is confusing. Necessity has made it in itself unalterable. Are we still talking about the illusion of freedom? I guess. Okay, so that's gonna be it apparently for today. Unalterable, unchangeable. I know that, but I don't understand it. Necessity has made it in itself unalterable. Hmm. Sorry, it's okay. Oh, I have to press another time. John Locke. That's the end. I hate when deep thoughts are conveyed in a complicated way. I hate it too. Like I really understand the need to make it so we figure it out, but I'd really like a simpler version of it as well alongside it, so I know I figured it out right. Bye guys. Love you all. Good night. Good night, Pogs. Good night, Angie. Sleep well, everyone.